Alright, so to graph this cotangent, so we see the amplitude is 3, period is pi over 1/2, which is 2 pi, phase shift is 0, midline shift is -2, range, all real numbers. Okay, so we want to consider the period and the vertical asymptotes together. So we know for the basic cotangent graph, there's a vertical asymptote at 0. Okay, and then, so phase shift says we don't move it left or right at all. So we do keep that vertical asymptote at 0. Okay, but then for the parent function, the period says the next vertical asymptote is after pi units, but this time the period's 2 pi. So we don't hit the next vertical asymptote until 2 pi. And then similarly, 2 pi were units before 0, so -2 pi, there was another vertical asymptote. Okay, so next we can consider the midline shift of -2. Okay, so I know cotangent has its midline point halfway between the asymptotes. So halfway between 0 and 2 pi is pi, and then the midline is now at -2. I know that in between the left asymptote and the midline point, there's a point above the midline. So in this case, halfway between 0 and pi would be pi over 2. And then the amplitude tells me that I need to go 3 units above the midline. So 3 units above -2 is +1. And similarly, I know that halfway between the midline point and the other asymptote, so halfway between these, is the point below. And again, the amplitude tells me go 3 units below the midline. So 3 units below -2 is -5. Okay, so it looks like the domain is all real numbers except for the vertical asymptotes, which are multiples of pi.